broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello all, thank you for joining us today. On behalf of everyone at Mitra Innovation, it's a pleasure to welcome you to our latest webinar. My name is Claire, the Marketing Events Manager here at Mitra Innovation, and I'll be your webinar host today. In the webinar, we'll be taking a closer look at one of our AWS machine learning models, the Abusive Text Detector. We'll be looking at how it identifies and monitors abusive content in any given text and analyses patterns in its occurrence. There'll also be a demo of the model, which will be great to see how it all works. Before we get started, just a little housekeeping. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box on your control panel, and we'll answer as many of them at the end as possible. So just before we get stuck in, I'll just give you a quick overview of Mitra Innovation as an organisation. Founded in 2012, Mitra has helped numerous organisations, entrepreneurs and investors embrace innovative solutions to enable them to be truly competitive in their sector and thrive in an ever-changing digital environment. We help companies achieve their digital goals via a whole host of services, including product incubation, digital transformation, machine learning, system integration, and cloud migration. Underpinning this are our company values that ensure we deliver customer-centric, innovative solutions which are driven by our passion to deliver excellent quality. Now, without further ado, I will pass you over to Kalani, one of our senior software engineers here at Mitra, who will guide you through today's exciting webinar.
Thank you, Claire. First, we'll start the presentation by looking at what is the AWS Machine Learning Marketplace. So, Machine Learning Marketplace is quite new. It was introduced in the 2018 AWS re:Invent, which is the largest conference hosted by Amazon Web Services for the global cloud computing community. And the event features keynote announcements, training and certification opportunities, as well as access to technical sessions and so much more. So the biggest attraction in the 2018 re:Invent was the introduction of the machine learning and artificial intelligence marketplace. It was launched with over 212 trusted and curated machine learning model packages, which were covering over 53 machine learning categories. So if you know what you are looking for, whether it can be computer vision or sentiment analysis, they have updated the browser experience in such a efficient manner that makes it very easy for you to find what you want. And their taxonomy is updated to reflect the way that different algorithms and the models work as well. So these models were submitted by 30+ launch partners, and we are very proud to say that Mitra was also one of the launch partners. We submitted 3 ML models and at the initiation, and now we have 4 models in marketplace. And these models are specially tested with about 9+ partner test customers who have been testing these applications in terms of their functionality as well as user experience. And the biggest advantage you get in the machine learning marketplace is that you can, without investing a lot of money to develop your own machine learning models, you can simply use them from your AWS SageMaker environment, which is the AWS machine learning platform. And some of these models are even free, and some are free for trial versions, and some are actually charging you for the licensing. But overall, it is a great way for the new machine learning users to experience machine learning. So let's talk a little more about the machine learning marketplace. Last year's theme was catering for those who can and those who can't. And keeping up with this theme, the marketplace caters to both parties, the companies who are building machine learning models as well as do not have the luxury to create their own ML models in-house, to experience how it can benefit their organizations. So when you look at the upcoming organizations who are interested in using this and who do not have the technology know-how or the cost to invest on the infrastructure, they can simply subscribe to the AWS models and algorithms in the marketplace and launch them in their AWS SageMaker, which is the ML platform, and simply use them to generate their inferences. At the same time, for the organizations who invest a lot of money on to develop these models, who have data scientists in house and who have all the infrastructure set in them, they can actually monetize their intellectual property through the AWS Marketplace as well. So it is a win-win situation for both those who can and those who can't. At the same time, it's also accelerating the progress of machine learning in the tech community. So let's look at what you can actually get from the marketplace. When you go there, you can see algorithms as well as model packages. And algorithms are for the more experienced users who want to customize their own models and who want to do hyperparameter tuning and do a lot of modifications on top of the existing algorithms and train it with their own data set. But if you're a novel user and who want to just experience it and see, then model packages are for you. These are pre-trained by the seller and it's ready to be used. So you just have to subscribe to them and you can generate your inferences in real time or batch mode with your data set. So moving on to the internals of the abusive text detector, let's look at why we were motivated to develop this in the first place. And you know that with increasing social media platforms, it's as well as it's good for collaboration and communication, but also it's spreading the cyberbullying as well. Why this is serious is because in the recent past we saw instances where some people took down their own lives due to cyberbullying. So it is that much serious. And at the same time, we saw that some of the social media platforms led to riots and in certain countries between ethnic and religious groups as well. And you might remember that last year Facebook was questioned on one of those events where they failed to moderate those hate comments targeting specific ethnic groups, and it led to riots in their country as well, in a certain country as well. And if you look at the UK, you can see a significant increase of hate speech towards migrant and Muslim communities, especially following the leaving the EU and also the Manchester and London attacks. And looking at the European Economic Area in overall, there is a rise in hate speech and related crimes for about 80%, and about 40% of the people who participated in the survey said that they felt attacked or threatened online. And what is a challenge in the current platforms is that they are doing manual moderation. So what they do is if you find something is inappropriate, which is abusive or toxic, then you can actually flag them, which will go to a manual moderator who will decide whether to take it down or to keep it. So this can be time consuming as well as error prone, and by the time the organizations find it as inappropriate and take it down, some damage can already be done by that time. So let's look at the abusive comment detector and what you get inside that. So it's designed to detect abusive content and offensive language within a given text, and organizations can use this algorithm to analyze and control inappropriate comments and reviews. So the business value that you get out of this is it's giving automatic flagging of toxic comments, so no manual moderation is needed, and it's a pre-trained model using neural networks. So you can just plug it into your SageMaker environment, and this is free to download at the moment. That we are having the version 1 at the moment, so it's free to download. So you can simply try it out from there. And biggest advantage is taking away the human dependency in content moderation. And let's look at how we actually develop this. And the diagram in the slide describes the end-to-end text classification pipeline and and the components involved. So you see that you can have you have the training text, which is the input text through which our supervised learning model is able to learn and predict the required classes. And if you look at the labels, we are having 6 labels, that is toxic, severe toxic, obscene, threat, insult, and identity hate. And when you and we have the machine learning algorithm which which we use to create the model. And for you, if you want to test out with your own data set, then you just have to feed it. And we are doing feature engineering using fast text, and our predictive model will tell you the class that your text belongs to, whether it's toxic or severe toxic, obscene, threat, insult, and identity hate. It will give you a value for each of these categories, and you can decide the highest value based on that. And let's look at how we developed this on the and how we created this model. We used Jupyter as our editor, and we used scikit-learn as to create the machine learning application. And deep learning, the neural network was done, created using Keras. So without taking much time, I will let my other presenter, Dushan, take over the session and take you through how you can subscribe to the model from AWS Marketplace and generate your inferences using that.
Hello everyone, I'm Dushan Devendra. I'm from Mitra Innovation and I'm currently working as an intern in Research and Development Division. Now that we have an idea about what is our machine learning solution, Abusive Text Detector, let's go to the AWS Marketplace and find how to use it and subscribe to it. When you go to the AWS Marketplace, you can simply provide the name of our product, which is Abusive Text Detector. When you search the keyword, you will navigate to this page where you can find our product, which was developed by Mitra Innovation. Let's go inside our product and see how it's working. When you go inside the product, you can see there's a brief introduction about how to use it and price information and uh, relevant information about how to use it. For this version, we are using 1.0 version. For this version, the solution is totally free. You can download it and you can use our product. So in order to use this product, you have to click the button over here and continue to subscribe. You will navigate to a page like this where you can find the end user license agreement. So basically in here you can't use any modification or you can't use our algorithm and edit that algorithm and use that again to your purposes. You can only use the algorithm as it is, and you can sell this algorithm to someone else again. So after this page, you have to go to the configuration settings page. In here, you can see there are 3 fields that you need to fill. The first field is fulfillment option, which is by default AWS SageMaker. And after that, you have to provide the version of the version. In this product, you have only one version, which is 1.0. If your product has several versions, you can select the version that you want and you can go on with that. After select the version, you can select the region that you want, deploy your product. So for the demonstration purposes, we are using US East 1. After you select the region, you can see you can view the product in SageMaker. So you can click the button over here and you can go to SageMaker. When you click that button, you will navigate to the SageMaker console. In this console, you can see the product title, which we is using right now, Abusive Text Content Detection. If you select this product, you can see that you have 2 buttons, which is one by endpoint creation purposes, you can click the button here, and for model creation purposes, you can create the button over here. So what we are going to do is we are going to create an endpoint that you can use for prediction purposes. So let's create an endpoint. Right. When you go to endpoint creation purpose, first you have to provide a name for your model. For the demonstration purpose, let's use content model, and after provide that model name, you have to provide an IAM role. By default, AWS SageMaker provide us an ARN. So if you have an existing customized ARN, you can use that one. Or else you have to create, if you want to create a new ARN, you can create a new role by using these options. So we are going with the default option, which is AWS SageMaker execution role. After selecting that model settings, you can select the network that you can use. If you want to use a VPC, you can use VPC that you have with you. By default, you have no VPC. So today we are going to describe this model with no VPC. After selecting the network, now you can go to the container definition, where you can select the container input options. So today we are using the default option, which is use a model package subscription from AWS Marketplace. So after you select those parameters, you can now simply create a model. So you can click the next button and you can create our model. After creating the model, you can see you will navigate to creating endpoint page, where you can create an endpoint. So just like the model page, you have to provide a name again, and let's provide Abusive content endpoint. And after providing the name, you can select two options. One is you can select an existing endpoint, or you can select creating new endpoint configuration. So today we are creating new endpoint configuration file. So if you have an endpoint configuration, you can select this option, and you can see existing endpoint configuration you can use. So if you have a endpoint configuration, you can select this endpoint configuration and go on with that. But today we are using a new endpoint. After selecting that option, you can see a new tab opened here, a new endpoint configuration file. In here, you have, by default, they are providing you a name with no encryption key. So after selecting those things, you can see the model that we are using right now. So it says that abusive content model. And if you want to do any changes to that model, you can go to the actions and edit your model. If you want to do any changes to your model, you can select the instance count, you can select the initial weight, those kind of things. After providing those parameters, you can create endpoint configuration. Right. After creating endpoint configuration, you can see the success. Your endpoint configuration is created now. Uh, After that, you can submit your model. Right. Now that you have created an endpoint, your endpoint is listed in the top of this page. As you can see, the recently created endpoint is still in the creating state. So it will take like few minutes to activate your endpoint. Because of that, we are using an existing endpoint that we created previously. Let's go to this endpoint, and you can see there's a URL that you can use. Using this URL, you can create a post endpoint, and you can use this endpoint to do your predictions. So let's see how you can use this URL to do your predictions. Let's copy this URL and go to the, let's go to the postman, right? You can paste your URL here, in here, and after you paste your URL, you can select the option that you want. Okay. For this purpose, for this URL, we are using post method. And after you provide those two parameters, you have to go to the parameters and provide the session key and secret key. After you provide those things, you can go to the body, and as JSON object, you can provide the text that you want to predict. So for this purpose, for this demonstration, we are using value as I hate you text phrase. And after you provide this text, you can send that, and you can see the result down below. And in here, your result, you are getting an array with 6 values. The first value also, about these values, you can have an idea about by going through usage instructions. In usage instructions, these values are defined perfectly. And the first value is toxic, and the second value is severe toxic, and the third value is obscene. fourth value is threat, fifth value is insult, and the sixth value is identity hate. So in this text phrase, as you can see, we are getting, for obscene, we are getting 0.03, which is closest to the one. And you can see that this identity, this provided text is obscene. And that's how you use the URL of our product. And I'll hand this session to Karan.
Thank you, Dushan. Getting back with our presentation. So now you saw how we actually generate an inference on the current model, and as I said before, it's using deep learning. And the advantage of using deep learning here is that it reduces the need for feature engineering, which is one of the most time-consuming parts of machine learning practice. And at the moment, we are working on the version 2 of that, and we are trying to incorporate sentiment analysis as well. So initially, you saw that you got 6 values as when you generate an inference, and you can use that based on the toxic level, whether toxic, severe toxic, obscene, threat, insult, or identity hate. You can configure your systems to perform based on that value. And apart from that, we are introducing sentiment analysis, which gives to give a better result using natural language processing in addition to the deep learning solution. So here you will be receiving for whether it is the text you are trying to analyze is toxic positive, negative, neutral, or whether it is a compound. And let's move on to our summary. And today we looked at the AWS Machine Learning Marketplace, and we talked about why abusive text detection is important and the motivation towards developing that. And we also looked at how we developed the solution, and we went through a comprehensive demonstration of how to use it. And we introduced you to our next steps and what is there for you in the version 2 of the model. So with that, we come towards the end of the first part of the Mitra machine learning model webinar, and you can expect our next webinar in 2 weeks' time on the February 14th, which will cover more models that we have developed and already in place in the AWS Marketplace. So with that, I would like to thank you for everyone for joining with us today, and I'd like to give the control back to Claire.
Thank you very much for that, Kalani. It's really interesting to hear you talk about the abusive text content detector and really how powerful a tool it can be. So thank you very much for that. It's definitely got a lot of benefits that I think organisations can really use. So just want to check if there's any questions from our attendees today, and it looks like there isn't any questions for us to answer. So that hopefully means that we've given you a really comprehensive view of the model, and you've got nothing more to ask, which is brilliant. So if you do want to find out more about the model we've talked about today or any of our machine learning solutions, then please do get in touch with the Mitra team. You can do that in a number of ways, which by emailing innovate@mitra.com or by calling us on 0203 908 1977. Thank you again for your time today. As Kalani said, the next webinar in the series is on the 14th of February at the same time. So if you'd like to join us then in 2 weeks, you can go to our website and sign up there as you have done for today. Thank you again for joining, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you.